been quite a little bit overwhelmed recently. Anyway, so today's topic will be why sellers, or rather what sellers should know before they start selling the flat lah. And hopefully, after sharing a little bit, you have a less smaller chance of having this expression by Jim Carrey. Okay, so some of the things that we need to know. The first one will be to the danger of selling a flat without knowing your next leap. Why do we need to know? Because, for example, let's say you are looking to upgrade. Okay, example, you're looking to buy a new one. Let's say a new launch, new condo, or some resale unit that you saw on the market. And then why then, so how does that affect your decision? Because that means if you're looking to upgrade and then you have a target unit that you want to get, that means your case has to be a little bit more urgent. You have to price it a little bit more towards the competitive side. Why? Because let's say, for example, if you are looking to upgrade to maybe a 1+ million condo, and then you know that the units are being stepped up fast in the new homes market. But then the thing is, for your house, you are waiting for that 10K extra. And guess what? Because you are waiting for the 10K extra, you wait for extra maybe 3 months. But nowadays, where the market is hot, developers are also feeling optimistic. And therefore, over 3 months, there is a very high likelihood in today's market, as we see in quite a few of the developers' pricing. The past 3 months, they have increased quite a lot. So, for example, a $1.5 billion condo, over the past 3 months, they have easily increased about, I would say, 30 to 40K. So while waiting for that 10K possibility that we don't know whether the next buyer is willing to come up with that 10K, you may be forced to fork out an extra 30 to 40K because the developer increased their price. So you have to weigh for yourself. It's not to say that it's wrong, but chances of this kind of thing happening, especially if you know that the condo you want to get into is a little bit more hot selling then this may be something you want to take note of. Okay, let's say resale unit also, though I would say if you are holding on to this, then you may not want to look too much in the resale market, because now the resale market is also moving quite fast. Okay, my bad. Whoops, looks like everything is gone. So anyway, the first one will be the developer staging out the price by a little bit. Okay, and then the next one, let's say you're looking at the resale market. Because of the market, how fast the market is, it is hot. And let's say when the market is hot, the units are moving fast, and therefore how does it affect your decision? Because you are waiting for that 10K, maybe the unit that you really wanted, the condition just nice, whatever you want to renovate or don't want to renovate, is your ideal unit, but the units don't sit long in the market, especially if it's being priced competitively. Unless you're telling me that the unit is selling very expensive, not realistic, then okay maybe you can afford to wait. Right? And then downgrade, maybe if you are looking to downgrade and you are not in a hurry, you are only testing the market only, okay, then maybe you can afford to wait a little bit. That 10K that you want to squeeze out from your next buyer, you are not in an urgency to sell, then you are just testing the market, then okay, you can wait I think that is not wrong also. However, you need to factor in the macro market conditions, because if let's say a cooling measure comes in, what will happen to your resale value? Are you going to be fetching this 10K extra, or will you, let's say maybe you get a 500K offer, you're looking for 510, it's your target price, but a cooling measure comes in, what will happen? Maybe 480K. Okay, instead of getting that extra 10K, now you get 40K, 480K. So it is actually a loss of 20K. Will it be worth it? That one we do not know because nobody knows for sure when the cooling measures are going to come in Okay, but the government did hint that some measures needs to be taken to manage the market If not, it's actually quite scary. So the next one will be unrealistic expectations. If let's say you are a seller, it's understandable because everyone wants to sell high. Everyone wants to have maximum profit mark so that you can move on. You want to upgrade. You want to have maximum amount of cash to move on to the next unit, and so that you can fork out for the down payment or maybe have that reserve fund. But the thing is, we need to understand also, can the market accept? Because even if you want to downgrade, yes, you want to sell high because you want to have the maximum retirement fund. Then again, can the market accept? So the funny thing is, when people are selling, when they become a seller, they will sooner or later they will have to become a buyer, right? But when they are a seller, they behave very differently as compared to when they are a buyer. Okay, we have seen quite a few people on the market. For example, for me, I met one seller. We sell his unit. We sell it at quite a bit above COV. So the thing is, he's insisting that, oh no, I want even more COV. I'm not willing to settle for 20K at COV. I want a 30, 40K COV for a 3-room flat. So it's not that it's not that it's wrong. It's just that, okay, so maybe for example, he wants a 40K COV, which we managed to get about, I think 40K, yes. But the thing is, the buyer didn't exercise because it's too high. Okay. And then he's down there asking, so why can't the buyer fork out 40K? We're like thinking, oh, okay, maybe it's a little bit tough on the buyer side, whichever financial condition it is. However, when he started looking around for, just to have a rough view of the market, he started looking around for the flat. We tell him, okay, so maybe you're looking at he's looking to upgrade from a 3-room to a 4 or 5-room. And then he looks around at the market and then he says, wow, why the price so expensive? Why are all these sellers thinking, why are they selling so expensive? So you realize it's like a little bit of double standard, You are a seller, you are thinking of digging out that money from the buyer for 40K extra. But when you become a seller, you suddenly change it. You try to transform and you see how come the seller is asking for so much. So your mind is a little bit of double standard here and there. Just because the market is hot, it doesn't mean that you can maximize in that sense. We need to understand the buyer mentality. How do they think? Okay, if you are a seller and you're going to become a buyer, you need to understand from the buyer's point of view. If you were the buyer, are you willing to fork out that kind of money? All right, that's one thing. Also, you have to do, before you put it on the market, it's better to do market research. Don't just say, okay, maybe I bought this unit at 500K. Okay, I'm gonna sell it off at 600K. I don't care. I need to look at research. So that will cause a little bit of downside in the short midterm. Okay, so what should we need to do? First of all, we need to compare. We look at what was transacted, something that is comparable. You need, let's say, if you are a 4-room, then what floor, middle floor. So you have to, of course, you have to compare apple to apple. You don't just compare maybe my low floor, I compare with the prices of a high floor. Then it will be a little bit more unrealistic. So for the first thing, you'll be look at transacted prices. Of course, most people want to sell high, but how high it is. For example, let's say you are looking at 600K, and then recent transacted was 560. Is it reasonable to ask for 600K? Is it on a higher? Is yours on a higher floor or is yours on the lower floor? What is the renovated condition? So everyone wants to sell higher. So assuming the floor is a little bit is on the same floor around the middle floor, you want to go a little bit higher, can 570. I think maybe if your renovation condition is very good, maybe you want to push it to 580, possible. But 600K is a little bit more on the far side, a little bit may not be so realistic. And also we need to compare sale, all those on sale. You take a look at Property Guru, 99Co, SRX, HProp, all these. Then you look at the units on sale, you realize that your neighbors are asking 600K only. But imagine you go and put a unit out at 650K because you want that cushion, which a lot of people want. They want a cushion to be for the buyer to feel that they got a bargain, so they bargain out at 600. But if your neighbors are asking for 600, who will the buyer go to? This is what we mean by buyer mentality. Who will the buyer go to? Will they go to the asking 600 or will they go to the asking 650? I think the answer is very obvious. It will be that most people will flood towards the asking 600. So therefore, when your unit is not being priced competitively, guess what? You will become a neighbor. You become a very lovable neighbor. Why? Because you're doing charity. What? You set 650K, suddenly the other unit become very reasonably priced and they become very attractive. So guess what? All your buyers go towards 600K. And what about you? You'll be stuck. That's one problem that the so-called unrealistic sellers will be facing, which later I'll share with you an example. And therefore, next point will be, if we look at this from a high asking price point of view, can we even attract buyers? Because why? If there's no buyers coming to even view at the same time, will we even stand a chance of getting an offer? Most buyers, or it may not be every single buyer will come with your offer, but in order for offer to come in, you must first have buyers coming into view. And when buyers coming into view, which will be a better scenario? Will it be one buyer coming in at one time, or group of buyers coming in at one time? Which will be a better one? Of course, will be to get the group one. Why? Because you have, imagine the first batch of buyers coming in, then the next one your agent managed to arrange back-to-back viewing. So how will the buyers feel? They will feel pressure, right? But the thing is, how is this even possible? The unit must be price competitive such that the buyers are all coming in, and then you have a greater chance of arranging all of them together. But the thing is, when your asking price is too high, then only one buyer come in, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks later. Then how do we exert pressure in this sense? And when the buyers do not feel pressure, they feel like maybe this unit is not hot. I don't feel so urgent. I don't feel the need to up my price. Then will we be able to get a higher price? So this one, I think the answer is very obvious, whether to have group viewing or solo viewing. Next, we have in this case, for example, will you rather have many untrusted agent or one single agent that you trust? Okay, my personal experience is that the exclusive that I signed so far, so far we managed to secure buyers, like really sell the flat off, sell the unit off. I think within 1 month. Okay, so far, please don't curse my record. So the thing is, example in this case, this is what we call the exclusive, and then the non-exclusive. So what is the difference? When you have a lot of agents marketing, whose interests are they taking care of? Whose interests? Are they taking care of their own interests? Or is the one agent that you entrusted taking care of your own interests? In what sense? I think a lot of sellers, they don't understand. Agents, they are in this line to run a business. Okay, they are not here to do for charity. So when you have 10 competitors, imagine you have 10 of them marketing the same flat. Okay, whereas there's only one of them marketing the same flat, which one will work harder for you? Because only the one that managed to sell the unit will get the whole commission. So because by advertising your flat, there's a lot of running costs involved. You have to, maybe they take a video, they take a picture, they take here and there. But once they post on a portal, the portals are the one that is expensive. For example, we have your most dominant property guru. It's not cheap. It is not cheap at all to be running ads on property guru. So if you have a whole bunch of agents marketing the same flat, will they be motivated to keep spending money to push your unit up higher? As you know, at the very, very hot developments, you will see almost every few minutes, right? Every few hours, the agents will keep posting and posting and posting. So your unit suddenly from, okay, you flip now, you turn on, then 1 hour later, you see your listing at the bottom. And it takes money to drive your listing up. So in this sense, if we have 10 agents all fighting for one, will they be incentivized to spend money to push your listing up versus only one guy? Right? I think the answer will be very obvious that this guy will be the one that works harder for you. Because why? He knows that he's the only one that will be allowed to sell your unit, and therefore he will put in more money for a unit. He will do whatever it takes. Maybe do a video, do virtual tour, do all the nice things. Whereas this one, all these 10 will just come in, take a picture, and then they go. They don't bother doing virtual tour. They don't bother doing videos, because all this takes money, and it's not worth it, because if I do imagine I spend so much time, so much money to do such work, then another person go and close the deal and then get all the money. So what for? Would I want to work hard? Right? And therefore, we need to understand the agent's business model. Right? Will it be better for one guy or many people marketing at the same time? Because nowadays it's not. Last time we can put in the newspaper all this kind of thing, but nowadays it's very standard. Most of them will advertise on Property Guru, because that is where you yourself are shopping. So how do we go around? If you feel that you cannot trust the agents, then talk to a few, and then get a rough sensing or whether you can trust them. And from there, especially those who sweet talk you over promise, that you may want to stay a little bit further away lah. Okay, ask for their track record if you need to, and then if can, maybe try to commit to one that you feel will really take care of your interests. It may not be lowest commission. Sometimes the lowest commission one, and guess what? If you tell them, okay, I give you exclusive, but I give you 0.5, I give you 1% commission. Guess what? This guy will be like, hey, your house, okay, he will tell the buyer, maybe your house, yeah, nice, but I got a nicer unit elsewhere. So are you self-sabotaging yourself? Is it worth to save on that 1%, and then you maybe get a price cut of 5% at the end of the day? I think we can do the math. So now we have arrived at this example. We have one seller, okay, 4-room flat in Punggol, not even like central Punggol, 4-room flat asking 650K. Okay, and so far he has marketed the unit for 2 months. We have put the unit up for sale for 2 months. And he did not grant any agent exclusive, because he says that he had a bad experience. So just because you had a one bad experience doesn't mean the next one will be negative also. But then again, we don't blame him. So guess what? So 650, hardly any buyers came in. After 1 month later, he dropped the price. He can tell all the agents, hey, we dropped price to 620. And then after another one later, not much buyers coming also. Even if they come in, they didn't put an offer, because they think, wow, this seller must be very unrealistic, so I shall not put in an offer. If not, you use my offer to beat up another one. Remember, understanding buyer mentality. And guess what? Recently we received notice from him. He dropped the price to 580. So guess what? Over 2 months, you have wasted unnecessary time and energy, put your unit out on the market, and who knows, even now unit is not as hot when it comes to buyer, because the buyer keeps seeing the same picture, keep seeing the same listing, and then the price just keep going down. Then if you were a buyer, what will you do? You feel sad, and guess what? You'll be thinking, hey, why not wait a bit longer? I don't go and see that. I wait for the seller to lower price some more, maybe lower to 540. By the way, market valuation is for us is about 520 to 530. Maybe the seller lower the asking to another one more, maybe lower to 540K. Then I go and see. Right, this is how buyers think, and over time, you would have wasted easily 3 months. Okay. So I think up to individual. Some people still prefer this route. There's no right or wrong. And then the next one will be to prime the unit or not, as in to whether you want to door up the unit or not. So let's say we look at 2 3-room flats. Which one will be more likely to fetch a better price? Okay, of course, yes, the renovation for the second one is nicer, but you may not need to renovate until so nice. All you need to do is just declutter, tidy up the place. And whereas this one, I think it's very obvious that this one will be the one that will be able to fetch a higher price, whereas this one is the lower price. Okay, but think about it. If you declutter, or maybe give the unit a fresh coat of paint. Okay, maybe it will cost I would say maybe $800 to $1,000 to paint up a 4-room flat. And guess what? Maybe the buyer come in, they had a very nice view of the place. Wow, the place looks nice. Oh, guess what? They are willing to fork up an extra $5,000 to $10,000 because they don't realize that the unit was just specially painted for sale, because they feel that wow, it's a very nice maintained flat. So I got a very good impression. I'm more willing to spend. And will this be a worthy investment? I think it's a very obvious answer. Okay, is it worth it? It's up to you to decide. And then the last one would be careful over promises by a lot of agents. They will come to you, hey, I have buyers looking for an area, like, do you want to sell? Now, market price, for example, maybe the real market price is 500K for your flat, but they'll tell you, hey, I think your flat is worth 590K there. Do you want to sell or not? They'll be like, wow, your saliva will come out. Wow, really? Sure, bro. I want to sell. Okay, I want to sell. Then they will get your listing, they will get your house, put it out for sale. Then you realize people come and see, but maybe people don't even come and see, but nobody put an offer there. And over time, they will be thinking, hey, suddenly they will come and tell you, hey, seller, hey, sorry, I think your asking price is a little bit high there. Shall we lower so that we can attract more buyers? And guess what? After 1 month, imagine after 2 months on the market already, you also feel sian, because you do all this effort, you don't want to say, you suddenly don't want to sell, because you got plans already. You already start looking around on the resale market, on the new market, and then you looking forward to your next move. And then suddenly the agent can tell you, wow, hey, your asking price too high there. Shall we lower? So you realize you will waste your time and energy. And then these people will tell you, hey, you sell lower price, but you'll be like, since I let you sell already, might as well I let you continue selling. So this is the typical market tactic. Okay, don't fall for this, I would say. If you want, try to if they say, wow, it's really worth 590, then tell them, okay, you bring a buyer, offer 590. then you talk about it. Most of them can. Okay, so why am I saying this? Because by falling into this trap, you will fall into just now the same trap as the seller. Okay, your expectation goes up, you waste a lot of time, and then you realize your unit cannot sell at all. And when you eventually sell your unit, it will become a very negative experience. You'll be like, last time they tell me 590, then the most I can sell is 510. So it becomes a very sour experience, and then you'll be start cursing and swearing, that kind of thing. Will it be something you want? So how do we know market price? Very simple. Whoever it is telling you how much is the market price, you tell them to show you the recent transacted price. I think this is very easy to find. Okay, even online, you can find it yourself on HDB map services for HDB, or the condo, or condo, even Property Guru has some data, so you can have a reference. So therefore, be wary of over promises. Do your due diligence, go and look at the transacted prices, and from there, maybe you want to add a little bit plus minus 5%. Remember buyer mentality. Yes, the market is hot, but can the buyers accept your price? Everyone wants to sell high. I also want to sell high. But the thing is it possible? Okay, if you are just testing the market, okay lah, then by all means lah. But if you really have plans to move on, then you may want to be a little bit more careful when it comes to pricing a unit and what is the price that you want to accept. Okay, so that's all for today's sharing. Wow, it's already almost half an hour. Okay, any other queries, you can just drop me a text or leave it at a comment there, and then I'll address it next time. Till then, thanks for your time, and then see you guys soon. Bye bye.